Debra Medina, who's running on the Republican ticket for governor of the great state of Texas. Welcome, Debra.
Thank you. My name's Debra Medina. I'm a registered nurse, wife, and mother from Wharton, Texas, just outside of Houston. It's a pleasure to be with you here this evening. And I know that much of the focus here tonight is what's happening and all across our country as we see Teaparties and 9/12 groups coming together over these next 2 weekends, what's happening in Washington, D.C. And so I ran across recently something that I've been sharing with folks that I think we can all take some encouragement from. And I bet, given the hills around here, you guys have seen one or two of these in your life. I recollected that her eye excelled in brightness that of any other animal, and that she has no eyelids. She may therefore be esteemed an emblem of vigilance. She never begins an attack, nor when once engaged, ever surrenders. She is therefore an emblem of magnanimity and true courage, as if anxious to prevent all pretensions of quarreling with her. The weapons with which nature has furnished her she conceals in the roof of her mouth, so that to those who are unacquainted with her, she appears to be a most defenseless animal. And even when those weapons are shown and extended for her defense, they appear weak and contemptible, but their wounds, however small, are decisive and fatal. Conscious of this, she never wounds till she has generously given notice even to her enemy and cautioned him. Are you listening, Congress? Are you listening, Mr. Obama? Cautioned him against the danger of treading on her. That is a message that Ben Franklin gave us in 1775 when he looked at the virtue and the strength of the American people as they were about to embark on a revolution. We understand, do we not, that we live in a republic, not a democracy, that our republic lives and dies on our adherence to the rule of law. We have a constitution, we have law in this country. As a candidate for governor, I'm sick and tired of the same things that you're sick and tired of in Washington, D.C. I don't want a governor that's sold out to international business. I don't want Centra building highways through my state. I don't want the border between Texas and Mexico erased. I don't want a senator who's sold out to international bankers and doesn't understand that printing money and bailing out Wall Street bankers is the proper use of my hard-earned money. Or her soon-to-be hard-earned money, because that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about just our money now. We're talking about her money and that little boy's money. Because that's what we've done. We forgot about the rule of law. I understand that there are 3 pillars that a society stands on: a family, a community, and a government. And we better remember that right here in Marble Falls, in Austin, Texas, and in Washington, D.C. The government never did anything for anybody. I understand, and I hope you will with me, my belief is that there are 2 elements essential to freedom: private property ownership and gun ownership. If you will agree with me that private property ownership and gun ownership is essential to your freedom, then you will quit compromising and you will quit surrendering those rights. You cannot have my land and you cannot have my guns. And then we're going to quit talking in Austin, Texas about property tax caps, because we need to own our land. Property taxes in Texas have to be eliminated. Property taxes have to be eliminated, and so some of you are saying, oh my goodness, how are we going to pay for our schools and our water districts? If we broaden the sales tax base in the state of Texas, if we tax things, not food and not medicine, if we tax things that are taxed in one other state, and we tax homes like we tax boats and cars, at the time of their sale, we'll lower the state sales tax from 6.25 to 6.1 cent. We'll increase net personal income in this state by $3 billion, billion with a B in the first year. We will draw capital-intense businesses to Texas. We'll add 150,000 new jobs in the first 3 to 5 years. That's leadership, and that's what we need to do in Texas. Kay and Rick are not going to fix education. They're not going to secure your private property. They're not going to let you keep your guns. They're not going to fix illegal immigration, and they're not going to stop health care. I'm going to work hard on all of those things. We're going to fight the federal government on health care. We should have been fighting it since 1986 when the federal government passed EMTALA and told our hospitals they had to treat everything that walked in the door, regardless of its ability to pay. You need health care, you pay for your health care. Whether you're an American citizen or not, you pay for your health care. It's not your neighbor's job to pay for your health care. It's yours and your family's and your communities when you're struggling, and it's certainly not your government's job to take it from your neighbor at the tip of a gun and a tax. We've got a lot of work to do in Texas. I know that we've been under the assumption that we have a balanced budget in Texas. Texas is in a better economic condition than many of the states in our union. We are. But we've been misled about where we are. And so I want to share with you some information so you can make good decisions about how you're going to plan for your family and your business, and what kind of conversations you're going to have with your state legislators. The state of Texas in 2000 had a $12 billion debt. Today we have a $31 billion debt. In 8 years, we've nearly tripled the debt in the state of Texas. That's on the comptroller's website. It's in the Consolidated Annual Financial Report on page 34 from 2008. $31 billion in debt. Tripled our debt in Texas. That's bonded debt. When you vote on bonds in November, bonds are debt. And so you're going to be voting on some bonds in November. Realize we've tripled our debt. We've spent every dime we've taken in, and we've tripled our debt. You wouldn't call that a balanced budget in your household. And that's okay as long as we understand what we're doing. I think we're spending too much money in Texas. I think we're growing much faster, our government, than we want to, and we're angry at the one in Washington, but the one in Austin's done a lot of the same things, and you need to know that. We all need to know that so we can deal with that appropriately. We're concerned about transportation in Texas. As conservative Republicans, we say government ought not grow any faster than the rate of inflation and population over the last 8 years in the state of Texas. That's 47%. We've doubled spending on health care. We've doubled spending on education. We've kept spending on law enforcement at about 45%, so we're right on target there, although I think the people on the border would tell you they need a lot of help. We dropped spending on transportation by 1%. So our priorities need to be shifted in this state. We've got some work to do to figure out how to deliver health care, make it affordable and accessible. But you know what the best delivery model of any product and service is? It's called the free market. It's not the monopoly government. And when we quit making these things sacred cows, when we're willing to talk about allowing competition in healthcare and competition in education, we'll have the best education system and the best healthcare system in the world. We can do that here in Texas. I'm looking forward to working with you. I agree with Dr. Donna. I've got 2 Goliaths to fight. I need your help. Medina for Texas.com. I'll be happy to visit with you after this evening's events. I look forward to working with you to secure property and guns in Texas, eliminate private property tax, and let's get Texans back to work. Thank you.